As he walked, the man stepped into a mud pit and got his shoe stuck. When he hurriedly bent down to put it back on, a guard suddenly appeared behind him and started beating him without mercy. Every lash was a sharp, bone-deep pain, but Knox still gritted his teeth and made sure his shoe was back on before he stood up again. He knew that in this concentration camp where supplies were scarce and conditions were brutal, losing a shoe was a death sentence. If he had to go barefoot, the cuts on his feet would soon get infected, and he would slowly die from disease. Limping under the guard's watch, he walked into a huge dirt pit, picked up a shovel, and started digging again. For the past few months, that had been Knox's job every single day, digging pit after pit in the woods. He had long since lost count of how many holes he had dug. What he could never figure out was why the German soldiers kept making them dig in the forest. The camp had only recently been set up, and everyone still believed it was just a labor camp for holding Jews, so most of them assumed the pits were for burying stolen treasure or the bodies of German soldiers killed on the front lines. Then one day, Knox and the others were taken to a sealed-off yard to help with what the military called a sorting job. They thought they were there to sort looted valuables. Instead, they discovered the things being sorted were not treasures at all, but truckload after truckload of Jews. Before long, a military truck packed with Jewish prisoners slowly stopped in front of Knox. The German soldiers then warmly helped them down from the truck, and the officer even smiled as he calmed them, telling them not to be afraid. He said the concentration camp was not a prison, just a large labor camp where Jews were gathered together. He told them everyone there would be given work, and even hinted that they would be paid. After hearing that, the terrified prisoners finally relaxed, and relieved smiles began to appear on their faces. Then the officer told them that to prevent disease from spreading, everyone had to shower and be disinfected first. As he spoke, he had the soldiers carefully tag every piece of luggage and register it, supposedly so no one would take the wrong bags after the shower. Watching the soldiers seriously label their belongings and seeing those warm smiles never leave their faces, the Jewish prisoners finally dropped their guard completely and obediently walked into the room to be washed and disinfected. Once they were all inside, Knox began his sorting work. First, he and the others hauled all the luggage into a warehouse. Then they opened it and sorted everything the German soldiers demanded: clothes, shoes, jewelry, money into separate piles. At that point, Knox still thought all this careful planning was simply about stealing the Jews' wealth. That seemed to confirm what the others had been saying all along, that the pits in the woods were for burying treasure. But when he stepped out of the warehouse, he saw something he never could have imagined. The German soldiers were herding the Jews who had just gone in to shower into a specially made metal truck. Hearing their panicked screams, Knox finally realized this was something far worse. Then the soldiers attached a hose to the metal truck. Instantly, heartbreaking screams erupted from inside, along with the thunderous pounding of people slamming against the steel walls. Listening to those hellish sounds, Knox suddenly understood everything.